Hey golfers, I'm Drew Mahowald, second swinging golf here at the PING Proving Grounds down in Scottsdale, joined by James Lee, master fitter here at PING, because we got some new stuff today.
Yes, we do.
This is the PING G440 Drivers. Always exciting when PING's got new drivers for us to test and for people to get fit into, because in terms of drivers, you know, and in our fittings, PING is always very successful. So G440, new look this year. For this generation, but I guess James, what's the big story before we kind of get into each model? Kind of what's the big story? What's new that people need to know about?
So the heads are a little bit smaller than our previous model, the G430.
Okay.
We have a 9 SFT, which we'd never had in the line before. So if someone's fading the ball, but they need something with lower loft, now we can offer the 9 instead of a 10.5 and maybe taking off some loft, which opens up the face also.
Yeah, and also I love this new look too. We got, like, you know, first of all, these are brand new club heads we got here. But you can kind of see my face on there. You can see your face on there. So, so tech-wise, thinner face,
yes,
right? And then I also want you to explain this free Hosel design too, what that means and what, you know, is the difference between, say, this versus previous generation.
Right. So the free Hosel design allows for weight to be distributed elsewhere to add for forgiveness and move that CG further back and lower. So right now, what we're able to do is we're actually able to fit people into lower lofted heads compared to the G440.
Oh, sure, because it's kind of launching a little bit higher than it would otherwise.
So if you were playing a standard, I would probably start you fitting in a small minus, which is 1 degree less, because it'll kind of give you the same kind of launch angle and spin rate conditions.
Fascinating. Okay, and then other thing of note too that I wanted to cover was the back weight's heavier now too.
Yes,
right? So
it is.
What was it last year, and then what is it now this year?
So the standard is 29s, but the head is lighter, back weight's heavier. So now we can go longer in the shaft. We can go up to 46 as our standard, and you know, longer shaft could increase club head speed. Also could help with launch conditions. Another reason why we can actually go lower in the loft.
Wow. Okay. So then you still have the sliding capabilities now with all of these too, right? So what kind of I guess adjustment to maybe ball flight are we talking about? If you were to say in the LST or the Max go from, say, you know, the fade to the draw, what kind of maybe yardage would someone expect to be of correction?
It wouldn't be a yardage correction I would talk about. It'd be more if I see someone that is consistently hitting a fade or consistently hitting a draw, I would just take the CG shifter and move it to that position.
Oh, really?
And make sure that it's not starting out to the right or starting out to the left.
Yeah.
And that's helped us with even previous models. So we continue that with the new models, and it's going to be fantastic.
Awesome. Well, yeah, we've talked about kind of the new tech this year, and you know, they look awesome. I'm ready to do some testing here. We got driving range is calling my name right now, James. So we're gonna do some testing.
Let's do it.
The G440 Max. I like it. It has the PING look, which I like. I mean, I'm as of recording this, I'm still playing the 10K, and I like. There's a lot of similarities there, but it's not, obviously it's not as like large of a footprint as the 10K. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's a good ball there.
That even, it sounds really good too. Like, I think that was, I mean, it sounds like a powerful thud, you know?
Right. So that's as fast as you can swing. That was halfway up the net also.
Well, yeah.
Great ball, by the way.
Thank you.
I'm going to aim you a little further right.
You're seeing the trend there, aren't you, James?
I am.
I love that sound. It's so good.
And sound equates to feel, as you know.
Yes.
So it sounds good to you, then it's going to feel good to you.
Yeah,
right?
It reminds me of when I was playing Little League baseball, and the kid that had the best bat on the team that I always wanted to use.
Right.
Reminds me of that. It sounded way better than mine did. That one's a toe ball.
Yeah. The toe, anything that hits off the toe, it's going to turn over like that.
But even still. And one again, a little off the toe.
Okay. That was a great ball there.
There it is. We're starting to correct this whole
Great ball
face.
there, right at the pink banner.
Oh, I thought that hit the pink banner. It was close.
Very nice.
But, I mean, so that's, what I like about that is I hit that one pretty close to center.
Right.
Pretty close.
So,
or at least it felt like it, and it still, well, I guess it felt similar to those ones that were on the toe. Like the toe, sometimes, you know, you kind of feel it crank open.
Correct.
But there was none of that on those toe shots.
Right, so take a look at that, since you brought that point up. Look at your ball speed, because that one was a better shot that you had, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had a few here that were off the toe, and look at that ball speed.
Yeah.
So the ball speed didn't drop at all.
Losing like a mile an hour.
Right, but the very, very consistent.
Yeah.
And that's the nice thing about having that free hosel in there to be able to move that weight around, so that the MOI, you can hit it on the face in different spots and still get consistent ball speed.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome for sure. I like that a lot.
And I love your spin rates also. Everything about those
right,
are good.
Mid 2000, or I guess 2200. That's really
2200 at 12.7 launch, and you hit 2 out of those 5 that were decent, right?
Right.
So the other ones, you're thinking, oh, I didn't hit those so good, but yet you're down the fairway with great ball speed and great launch and spin.
Yeah, and I just like how, I mean, that ball speed with that club speed that's very efficient.
Correct.
For what I felt like I didn't hit the center on all of them.
Right.
To still get that much speed is really good.
Correct.
I love that.
No, those are really good.
All right, so I don't know. You tell me which one we're hitting next between
We're
the
going to
SFT
try
and LST.
another head. I'm going to try the LST.
Okay.
I know the LST is designed to take some of the spin off, but your miss is left.
Yeah.
So the LST is a little bit more fade bias.
Gotcha.
So I want to see what that kind of does.
Perfect.
All right, there's your 9 LST.
All right, so the LST, yeah, definitely a little more compact.
One thing I forgot to mention also, with our aftermarket shafts and our proprietary shafts, we went a little longer. So the aftermarket went from 45 1/4 to 45 1/2, and our proprietary stock shafts are from 45 3/4 to 46.
To 46, yeah.
And remember, it's because we're able to, the head's lighter,
Yeah.
the weight is heavier, so we can go a little bit longer.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, it's fascinating how all that, like, you know, I think like maybe a more casual golfer sees that and goes, what's a couple grams going to do, you know? But
it makes
in the long run, it's a big deal, yeah.
For sure.
There's that stupid hook again.
Was that off the toe?
Yes. A little bit, not so much.
And ball speed was 168.
Really? Is that even like
very,
legal?
very consistent.
Like, because I feel like 168 on 111 is at least 1.5.
Oh.
There we go.
That's a beaut.
Hit the pink square. Ooh.
Oh.
That was close.
About 1 yard. One
close.
yard off the pink square. 280, about 315.
Oh, I love that. That's perfect.
11 launch, just under, so 1800 spin.
Yep.
So when we talk about that LST, a little bit fade bias, so it helped a little bit of the left miss, but it's taken off too much spin now.
Yeah,
so I'll have you hit a couple more shots to kind of see what the consistency is, but we don't need that low of a spin. But it works as advertised.
No, it does. Yeah, exactly. There's that toe ball again.
165 ball speed. 290. Good ball.
There it is.
Good ball. Very nice.
Very consistent too in the sense of the sound and feel versus the Max. I don't like notice much of a difference, but I think is a good thing, right?
For sure. So take a look here at these numbers.
Oh yeah.
So here's your Max, 166 ball speed.
Yeah.
Your LST, same ball speed, right? So you're thinking, okay, the same ball speed, I have options. But you don't, because your spin rate on the Max is 22, where you need to live, and the spin rate on the LST is 1600. And very consistent on both. And this is just an indication that the LST is not for you.
Yeah, it's just a little bit too low.
Too low of a spin.
And I get to that point, you know, anything that low, we're getting closer to 1500 than 2000 is definitely.
It's going to come out of the sky a little quicker, right? It's not going to stay in the air.
Sure. Yeah, but to your point though, it works exactly like it Ping tells us is going to work.
Right.
You know, it's lower spinning, and there are a lot of players out there that might not be like me, where they need to lower that spin.
For sure.
You know, maybe their driver spin rate is in the 3,000s or
Right.
near 3,000,
right.
Where they need to lower that. And so it's kind of what we're going to get to with the SFT too, where I definitely don't need the SFT, but
you're going to hit it though.
Yeah, we're going to hit it just to see how far left I can take this thing, because that's kind of my tendency today. But I will say, for for the sake of how maybe I'm not hitting really the LST, but also the Max, I wasn't hitting them perfectly on the center, but the ball speed, it's not really dropping.
You didn't really lose any ball speed.
Yeah.
And that's the key.
Yeah.
Because not everybody's going to hit center of the face.
No. No.
Right?
I know that for a fact. Unless you're out on tour.
Right.
You're not going to hit center of the face every time, but your ball speed can be basically the same.
Correct.
Still, which is really cool.
So let's hit the SFT. I want to see what numbers we get out of that.
Perfect.
So this is the SFT.
Okay.
So I moved it. We have draw plus setting. We have a draw setting.
I don't need the draw plus. Right?
Yeah. So
yeah.
Let's start with that.
All right.
Aim a little further right.
Yeah. Again, this is testing purposes. We know that based on what we've seen from the last two drivers, I am not an SFT player.
That is correct.
But it's also worth pointing out the 9-degree SFT too, and that players that need maybe a 9-degree but don't.
Correct.
That have a kind of struggle with the slice, you can have that SFT shape and
our
technology to it.
New addition.
Yep.
Having that 9 SFT.
Oh yeah, right off the side of the net there. It goes left.
Can you guess what your ball speed is? Because
No.
you didn't hit that solid at all, right?
It wasn't. No, it didn't feel awesome.
167.
Yeah, that's. When I say it didn't feel awesome, like the fact, that's crazy actually. Like I'm seriously impressed by that, because I know I'm not hitting it here, and the ball speed is still up there. That's really good.
By design.
Yeah, that one was hit better. That's kind
That
of
was solid.
That's where I expect all these tee shots to
Right.
go.
That was solid. 169 ball speed.
Ooh.
So maybe you can play an SFT for the ball speed and just aim for the right.
You know what? Maybe I have a couple drivers. Maybe I have my G440 Max for most holes, and then I get the dogleg
lefts.
Yeah, and I can bring out this guy.
That'd be perfect.
All right. So
167 ball speed.
Are you serious?
Oh, sorry, no, 169.
Okay, well let's look at this shot here. This is a straight up duck hook by me. That's purely my swing, but I still got the ball that fast.
That is correct.
I mean, that was the most toe shot of the day for me. Is what it felt like.
And it took off the spin, like like it would do if you hit it off the toe, right? But again, your ball speed has been consistent with all 3 models.
I'm actually really impressed
all 3
with
models.
The ball speed.
Okay, a little correction there.
I might have to sit.
No, that's a good ball. You're good.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
And 165. 285, 308. So one thing I will point out.
Yep.
So you see how your Max, you're at in the 24,
yeah, it's like
2500.
22s, 23s.
Now you're at 22 with the SFT, LST 1600.
Yeah.
So that's showing you your dispersion in your spin rates.
Yep.
Going from LST to the Max or SFT, because the Max and SFT are pretty similar, right?
Right.
This is for that person that needs some lower spin.
Yeah. So, again, in the testing today with the drivers, we drew the conclusions that I think are supposed to be drawn based on what we know about the drivers.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, the SFT went left, but that was not.
But it's by design.
That was supposed to happen.
Right.
The LST spun much lower, had a lower ball flight, and I had a couple really good ones where I hit the ball really solid with that. But I think even still, I wasn't able to get a 2,000 spin.
Right.
Which tells me and tells you, okay, that's a little bit too low for me.
Correct.
But a lot of golfers out there could benefit from dropping their spin by 400 RPM in this case. And then the Max obviously was awesome because, I mean, all 3 models were awesome in the ball speed department, where I was hitting the ball off the toe, I was maybe hitting it low on the face,
Right.
and the ball speed was staying up in the high 160s every time.
And what's nice about it, all 3 models works as advertised.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So you're a Max guy.
Yeah, I like that. And I mean, that makes sense too, as having played the 10K. So it kind of makes sense of these 3 models that would be the one that I would fit into of these 3. So,
correct.
But yeah, this has been good. Again, super impressed by the ball speed and how it retained itself so well on my not so good swings, which I had plenty of those today.
Awesome.
Well, James, that was some really good testing. Again, I think I've said it about 5, maybe 10 times now, but I'm super impressed by the ball speed. Retention on those miss hits, those swings that maybe didn't catch the ball perfectly. And then just the LST spinning lower as it should.
Right.
The SFT had that left kind of tendency for players that need that. Really good stuff across the board. I guess getting into each individual model, let's go with in order of the way I hit them. So the Max first. The player, the golfer that's going to be, I guess, benefit the most from the G440 Max of the 3 models.
And that's going to be the majority of the people. If I have someone that's fading the ball quite a bit or drawing the ball, Max might not be.
Yeah.
But I still have the option of moving that CG shifter, to the fade or draw to enhance that before moving maybe to a different model.
Yeah.
So I would say the majority of the people will fit into a Max.
Sure. And then moving on to the LST then, I guess it speaks for itself, but we saw the spin go way down in my testing. I guess for golfers going into the bay for G440 driver, which of those golfers would be most likely worked into the LST model?
Yeah, sometimes it's with faster club head speeds. And again, someone that needs lower spin and having that 9 degree now in the SFT is going to capture a lot more people than having just a 10.5, right? And maybe taking it down to 9, which opens up the face, and the LST is already fade bias.
Right.
So it gives us a lot more options to have that lower lofted model in there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because that was kind of what I was going to lean into here with the SFT too, because there's more players probably going to play the SFT now than in the past with that 9 degree option. So
correct.
Again, the SFT technology speaks for itself, but what golfers would be most likely then playing the SFT model?
So a lot of golfers that fade or even slice the ball.
Yeah.
Because we have 2 options. We have that draw and we have that draw plus in the SFT to get that ball back online, have a better start line.
Yeah.
And this is going to be better for that type of golfer. Now, if they're hitting the ball left, like you did, no SFT.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why there's 2 more models. That's why there's a Max and there's an LST. So
there's a model for everyone.
Exactly. And there's high ball speeds for everybody. If you really hit it off the center or you hit it off center, it's going to be really fast for you. And really
very consistent too.
Very consistent too. Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at the numbers here. The plus or minus deviation on my ball speeds there, really, really good across the board.
Correct.
We're talking a yard or so of average deviation. So golfers, go get fit for a G440 driver. Again, the technology, the performance speaks for itself. Really, really good speed. It's really good retention on the miss hits. You're going to be very impressed. So James, thank you for the time today.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having us out here at the PING Proving Grounds. This is fantastic on a beautiful day to see the performance of the G440 drivers.
Thanks for coming.